Koorapaty, who actually is an Equinix alum. He used to work here several years ago, and now he's the president and CEO of VRNACULARS, a virtual reality company. So without any further ado, kick it off to Aneesh.
Thank you very much. So just a very brief introduction. My name is Aneesh Koorapaty, for those of you who don't know me. By education, I'm an engineer. Did a PhD in electrical engineering at Carnegie Mellon, and 18 months ago I became CEO of VRNACULARS. The word vernaculars we specifically chose because if you've heard Mark Zuckerberg talk about virtual reality, he says it's the next communication platform. And communication is about language, and language that everybody knows is a vernacular. Today, content is static. You look at it, it's on a screen, but you're disconnected from it. It's something that's playing on a wall, right? Tomorrow you will be inside the content. Today, you look at data on your PC or your phone. You're disconnected from it. Tomorrow, you will be standing within the data. It's like, you'll be literally in a room with data all around you. You'll have 3D objects in front of you of data that you can manipulate. So it's about the word experience. It's not static anymore. It's immersive, it's intuitive, right? And it's interactive. So let's start with media and entertainment, right? Media and entertainment is fundamentally changing. First of all, movies are becoming immersive. We have some content here that I'm going to show you. It's a 360 film. And the thing about stories, right, traditionally, is they're linear. You go, you sit and watch a movie, whatever happens on the screen is what you get to watch. Virtual reality movies are non-linear. There's a great example of this called Apollo 11. It's a totally immersive, interactive movie. You are in a 3D reconstruction of the space shuttle. You will be sitting next to Neil Armstrong, and you will take off and go to the moon. And you can even, in interactive mode, take control of the space shuttle, trying to land it on the moon. Right? The audio clips are exactly the original audio clips from NASA. Right? So I could either watch a film about Apollo 11, or I could be in the film. Okay? Retail. IKEA has an augmented reality app. You literally point your phone at your living room, right? Pick up whatever table or chair you want from the IKEA catalog, drop it in there. So I could drop an IKEA lounge chair right here and look at it. Say, what does it look like? I can change the color of that chair, right? So shopping is going to change. Healthcare. So in healthcare, there's so many applications. First of all, for training. If I'm a student and I'm trying to learn surgery, we could have you do that in a completely simulated environment, right? Travel and tourism. I could take you to a place like the Colosseum. What do you see there today? Or the Roman Forum. Just a bunch of ruins, right? Well, fine. Well, take your iPad, point it at the Roman Forum, and the whole place will come straight back to life the way it was before, right? So imagine bringing history back to life. Now, let's talk a little bit about specific use cases for the enterprise. So HR, two things, right? Talent acquisition, talent development. Talent acquisition, before I even hire you, I could put you in a VR headset. So Deutsche Bahn does this. Before we even hire anybody, we send them a little VR app, we put them in the headset, and we test what they would do in a real-life situation that they would face as an engineer on a railway track in a day in the life, right? And you get to test for knowledge, you get to test for aptitude, you get to test for how quickly they learn new skills. Some people go through that experience and say, you know what, I don't really want to apply for this job. That's the day in the life, this is not for me. Other people come out flying through the thing. You say, that guy, that's my #1 hire. I really want to get that person, right? Training. VR is fantastic for training. What are the issues with training? First of all, we've all been through this. You go to a training session for 3 days, right? There is variability in the quality of the instruction. Secondly, all of us are jet lagged. We're all watching our phones or PCs or emails because we have day jobs to do. It's hard to sit through a whole day of training, right? It's hard to measure retention when the training is over. All of those things go away because if I put you in a VR headset, there is no variability of instruction. We're all doing exactly the same thing. Secondly, there's no chance of being bored because it's entertaining and you're in there, you're doing real things, you're on a real machine, you're in a data center, you're getting an order from somebody, from a customer, and you're actually implementing that order, right? Third, we know exactly how much time you took, we know exactly where you failed, we know exactly where you succeeded, we know where your eyeballs were going, so we can design the training to be better in the future, right? The effectiveness of the training can be measured very clearly. We know exactly how much time spent in each section and so on, right? Okay, let's talk about product development and collaboration. The HoloLens is an example that allows you to do collaboration with AR. Okay, so I could have a HoloLens. Ford Motor Company does this. So they have a design team in Detroit, they have a design team in other parts of the world. There's a real car, and you'll see all this in the videos, I'm just not going back and forth to save time, but there's a real car, and I'm trying to change the design of the grille. I have a HoloLens, I'm in Michigan, I draw something, I create a model, overlay it on top of that grille, and then I leave a note, a voice note, and it will record the angle at which you were looking at the object, because that's important, right? I need to know from what side you were looking at this when you said that. So it will record your position and the note. And then next morning, somebody in India wakes up, they put on their HoloLens, they're walking around the same space and everything's in there. You know exactly who looked at it, from what angle, what was the note they left. You pick up that note, make some changes, and drop it in. I'm going to go to the last one for a second, which is field operations. I'll give you an example of the elevator company, ThyssenKrupp. So ThyssenKrupp, here's what they do. The second they get a call about an elevator, the maintenance person will be able to see that exact elevator on their desk with a HoloLens. They have the full history of that elevator, what was changed, etc. So you never show up with the wrong part or the wrong diagnosis. Before I send you there, I make sure you know exactly what you're going to fix and what you need to do it. Then you go there and you're looking at the real elevator. And it's called See What I See. Everything I'm looking at, I'm having a live Skype conversation with somebody on the other side, or it could be pre-recorded content, and it will tell me, pick up the green wire, cut it, replace it with the red wire, turn that knob, switch these 3 buttons on, push it in, and you should be done. If I wanted to look at a manual, I'm looking at a motor, say, okay, show me the manual. PDF pops up, or a schematic pops up, right there in the HoloLens. It's completely hands-free, it's voice-driven and gesture-driven, so the technician is free to do stuff. This is a transformational impact. Think of it as fundamentally as a user interface change. It is a change in human-computer interaction. You're going to be inside content, you're going to be using your hands, you're going to be using gestures, voice. It's a complete transformation of the human-computer interaction model, and what that means is everything needs to be rewritten.